Hello, welcome back to Token the Travel. This channel is all about family travel to Africa, and I am actually documenting our family's move to the motherland. So if this is of interest to you, make sure you like this video, share it with a friend, and subscribe to this channel. In today's video, I wanted to share a little bit of the 3 things that surprised me about our visit to Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire. So if you don't know, we just did our scouting trip, my husband and I, to Abidjan because we want to see if that could be a potential country where we would move to next year. If you don't know yet, you can go back to a video. I'm going to link it in the description. These are 10 reasons why we are deciding to move to Africa, and also another video where I share the reasons why we're choosing Cameroon and Côte d'Ivoire. So we just did our scouting trip to Côte d'Ivoire, and in the next few months, we're going to do our scouting trip to Cameroon. And then we're going to decide on where we're moving to, okay? So if you want to follow our journey along, again, make sure you subscribe. That way you don't miss any of our videos, any of our progress. But today I wanted to talk about the 3 things that surprised me in Abidjan. And I have my notes here, so if I'm looking down, it's because I'm looking at my notes. I'm not ignoring you. So 3 things that really surprised me. So something you have to know is that I had visited Abidjan 10 years ago. So it was a long time ago, and a lot of things have changed. So there are things that I knew about already, so I haven't included those in my list because I already knew that it was going to be like that, okay? But those are the 3 things that I was like, oh wow, I didn't remember that, or that surprised me, okay? And so I'm going to go over these 3 things, and if you have any questions about them, make sure you post them in the comments. Okay. The first thing that surprised me about Abidjan is the fact that Wi-Fi is not easily accessible to the public. I know, first world problem. For me, I'm like, I go into an establishment, I expect the little sign on the wall to say Wi-Fi and then the password. Like, give me the Wi-Fi. That's where we're supposed to. It's like, it's a given. Any establishment, you go to the doctor's office, they have the Wi-Fi code in there. You go to the library, they have it. You go to Starbucks, they have it. Or maybe they don't have a password. You go to Panera Bread, it's there, right? But I felt like people were like hoarding passwords. It's like you had to ask. And again, that's probably like first word problem type thing, but indulge with me, okay? It's the fact that you had to ask for the Wi-Fi password, and it's not like it was given to you. You had to, in a lot of cases, like, they don't give you the password, but they will put the password on your phone, okay? So they'll put it on my phone, my husband will ask for it, and they'll put it on his phone as well, right? It's not like, oh, it's public, everybody can go and see. There are several reasons why it's better to do it that way. Maybe security, maybe because it's a lot more expensive to have Wi-Fi, and you just don't want just anybody to get on your Wi-Fi. But I thought that was inconvenient for sure, but I thought it was interesting, and it was really surprising that I had to ask for it all the time. It's not like a deal breaker. You're just asking, and that's fine. They'll give it to you. It's not like they're going to be like, no, you don't get it. You don't get it. But in a lot of times, it was just like, okay, I have to ask again. I have to ask again. The only place where I didn't have to ask was at a co-working space. So I did go to a co-working space to check out how it was. It was a highly recommended one, and I wanted to see how fast the Wi-Fi was over there and see how the whole vibe would be like, because that was something that I wanted to check out on the scouting trip. And so when I went there, first thing she told me was, okay, you want to be here for 1 hour, here's the Wi-Fi thing, and then the password, and she wrote it down for me, okay? So it wasn't like on the walls, like everybody can see it, but it was like, okay, to me, piece of paper, keep it to yourself type thing, okay? So accessibility of Wi-Fi, that's something that surprised me. It is available, it is accessible, you just have to ask for it. It's not like public everywhere, just like it might be here. That's number 1. Number 2, second thing that surprised me, and I was like, man, I need to readjust my budget for this thing. It's the fact that you have to tip the store staff that is going to the car with you or helping you with your bags and things like that. Here, I do that. Like, you don't have to do it here in the US. Like in during holiday seasons, or even if it's yeah, during holiday season, or if it's a day like a holiday where the store is open, I like to tip the staff, like when they, like people who help with the bagging my groceries, or if when I don't do that a lot, but if somebody helps me to take my things to the car, I like to give a little something, right? But over there, I asked my friend, and she's like, yeah, because they're not paid a lot. So it's kind of not required, but it's expected. It's expected to give 500 francs, which is, I don't know, like 40 cents or 30 cents, I think, US cents. And so it's nothing. But if you go to the store 3 times a week, it adds up. So you definitely need to add that to your budget. And that's something that I'm going to adjust with my budget. So that's something that surprised me a lot. Tipping somebody who is doing work for you, like at the market, you'd have these girls who would, girls and ladies, I would say, who would help you with to carry your bags, right? When you go around different vendors and you buy onions here, tomatoes here, rice here, and all of that, and they would follow you and carry your bags with you. Sure, they're doing work for you, so you need to pay them, right? So that's something that I expect to do, because we do that in Morocco as well and everything. Or the guy who helps you park your car, right? He would ask for a little tip. And that's something that I've forgotten because I haven't lived in Morocco for a while. That's the person who watches your car. You expected to tip that person as well. But I didn't expect to have to tip the staff of, the store. He's just like, he bags your bags and your groceries, and then follows you to your car. You could do it yourself. You could push the cart, but he's going to be the one to push the cart for you and go to your car, and then you tip him. So that's something that surprised me that I didn't expect. But again, it's something that you can easily adjust to, not a deal breaker. It's just an adjustment of your budget. Okay. Third thing that surprised me about Abidjan is the crazy driving. Okay. We have crazy driving in Morocco. Here in the US, driving is not crazy. Sure, some people are going to say it's crazy, but there's crazy and there's crazy. In the US, we have lanes. So you stay in your lane most of the time, okay? In a lot of places around the world, there's no lanes. Or even if there are lanes, it's just for decoration, right? So there were no lanes. Like when I talk about lanes, it's like painted lanes, right? Lines on the road. So it's like the road is there and the roads are in really good shape, like really, really good. It's like highways and roads, very well maintained, right? So it was really good and very wide. So it's wide, but there's no lanes, right? So it's like everybody's going into the same direction. And sometimes people are creating lanes. So sometimes it's like 3 lanes, like 3 improvised lanes. And then, somebody's creating, mostly cabs. Cabs are really, really aggressive. And they create their own lane. So a side that would be more like the feeder, but it turns into a lane because why not? Because we all have to go. So it's like there's a lot of forcing your own way, and it makes it very challenging, exciting, I guess. There's a lot of shouting. There's a lot of look at you, what you're doing, and all that. But surprisingly, there's not a lot of accidents. So there's a sense of discipline in there as well. There's a sense of organization. There's a sense of I'm forcing, but I know my limits. Or a sense of, okay, I'm still going to let him go because for the greater good, right? So there's still organization. There were some close moments where I was like, oh, we're all going to get into a wreck here. But no, for the whole week, I didn't witness any kind of wreck because there's still that level of discipline. There's still order in the chaos. There's order in the chaos. So do I see myself driving there? Absolutely. You just have to know how to push. You have to know how to push and not be soft. Not be soft with the driving and trying to be show some strength in your driving and all of that. So that's the third thing that surprised me. I didn't remember Abidjan being this crowded in terms of cars, and there's a lot of Yongos, which is the equivalent of Uber, and there's a lot of Uber cars as well. So I feel like there's a lot of cars on the road and not enough roads. And so that creates a lot of traffic jams, a lot of traffic. Like rush hour is terrible. But at the same time, they're building a lot of bridges, they're building a lot of roads. So there's a lot of signs of economic growth and development. So that is great. A lot of traffic was caused because of the construction. So it's going to decrease at some point when the construction is done, but that was a good sign of economic growth and development. So that was great. But man, the traffic really surprised me. The fact that is you create your own lane and you just go, you push through and you're gonna make it. So those were the three things that surprised me about our visit in Abidjan. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Any question that you might have, anything that you want me to create a video about, let me know in the comments and I'll make sure to respond back to you. In the meantime, make sure you like this video, share it with a friend, and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any more of our progress in our Black Sit. Till next time.